Welcome to UFO Sightings, What Could It Be?, where we delve into the enigmatic world of unidentified flying objects. Today, we will explore the possible origins and implications of these mysterious lights in the sky. Get ready for a mind-bending conversation as we uncover the truth behind these unexplained phenomena.
Thank you, Dr. Johnson, for setting the stage. Samantha, you've had first-hand experiences with UFOs during your time as a military pilot. Can you share one of your most compelling encounters and why it stood out to you?
Absolutely, Rachel. One night while flying over the Atlantic, we encountered what can only be described as a series of erratic lights moving at incredible speeds. No known aircraft could perform maneuvers like that. Sudden stops, sharp turns, and acceleration beyond anything we've seen. What's fascinating is that this wasn't just a visual sighting. It was tracked on radar too, making it harder to dismiss as a mere optical illusion.
That's intriguing, Samantha. From a scientific standpoint, the radar confirmation adds a level of credibility to your observation. It eliminates several conventional explanations like atmospheric phenomena or visual misinterpretations. Have there been similar radar-confirmed sightings that you're aware of, which might support the case for investigating these incidents further?
Yes, Dr. Johnson, there have been multiple instances. For example, the 2004 USS Nimitz encounter, where fighter pilots witnessed and recorded a tic-tac-shaped object that outmaneuvered their jets. This encounter, like mine, was also corroborated by radar data.
Moving to a slightly different angle, Dr. Johnson, with your expertise in astrophysics, how do you approach these sightings from a scientific perspective? Is there a possibility that what we're seeing could be of an extraterrestrial origin, or are there more plausible explanations?
Rachel, it's a question that requires us to keep an open mind, yet remain skeptical. The universe is vast, and the possibility of life beyond Earth is not to be dismissed lightly. However, extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence. Many UFO sightings can be attributed to misidentified human-made objects, natural atmospheric phenomena, or even psychological effects. Yet there are a small percentage of sightings, like the ones Samantha described, that remain unexplained and deserve rigorous scientific investigation.
Dr. Johnson, you mentioned misidentified objects and natural phenomena. Could you elaborate on what some of these could be? It might help listeners understand why not every UFO sighting is immediately alien spacecraft.
Certainly, Samantha. For example, experimental military aircraft or drones can often be mistaken for UFOs due to their unconventional appearance and movement patterns. Atmospheric conditions can also play tricks on our perception, creating illusions of moving lights or objects. Ball lightning or northern lights are classic examples. Then there's the psychological aspect. The more we hear about UFOs, the more likely we are to interpret ambiguous stimuli as extraterrestrial.
So what you're saying is, while the universe holds potential for extraterrestrial life, a critical and scientific approach is necessary when evaluating UFO sightings. Samantha, from your perspective, how can the aviation and military community contribute to this investigation without veering into the realm of sensationalism?
It's all about transparency and data sharing, Rachel. The military and aviation communities observe and document a plethora of aerial phenomena. By openly sharing this data with the scientific community, we can collaborate to analyze and understand these encounters better. It's about removing the stigma and treating these sightings as legitimate subjects of scientific inquiry, rather than fodder for sensationalist theories.
That makes a lot of sense, Samantha. It's about building bridges between different fields of expertise. Dr. Johnson, given what Samantha said about data sharing, how can scientists like yourself use this information? What's the process for scientifically investigating these sightings?
Excellent question, Rachel. The process begins with collecting and validating the data, which includes radar readings, pilot testimonies, and any available visual recordings. Then, we apply Occam's razor, meaning we look for the simplest explanation first, such as identifying known atmospheric phenomena or aircraft. If those explanations don't hold, we move to more complex analyses, possibly involving other scientific disciplines like psychology, meteorology, or even biology. The key is maintaining rigorous scientific standards and not jumping to conclusions.
And how does the public's interest in UFOs impact your work, Dr. Johnson? Does it help by bringing more attention and potentially more resources, or does it complicate the scientific process with too much speculation?
It's a double-edged sword, Samantha. On one hand, public interest can indeed drive funding and resources towards research, enabling us to explore these phenomena more extensively. On the other hand, high levels of speculation and sensationalism can muddle the scientific waters, making it harder to separate fact from fiction. It's vital to communicate our findings and the scientific process clearly to help educate the public on these matters.
Speaking of speculation, there's a lot of it when it comes to government secrecy around UFOs. Does this secrecy hinder your research, Dr. Johnson, or is it just a part of the challenge?
Secrecy certainly poses challenges, Rachel. Access to unclassified but still confidential data could potentially unlock some mysteries surrounding these sightings. That said, understanding the need for national security, it's about finding a balance. Encouraging a culture where data related to unexplained aerial phenomena can be shared without compromising security is crucial for scientific progress in this field.
It seems like collaboration and open communication are the recurring themes here. If we can foster that, not just within the scientific and military communities, but also with the public, we might get closer to understanding these unexplained phenomena.
Absolutely, Samantha. It's about uniting our curiosity and expertise to explore the unknown responsibly. Let's dive a little deeper into the types of technology that might be mistaken for UFOs. Samantha, from your experience as a pilot, can you give us some examples of advanced aircraft or technology that could be misinterpreted as extraterrestrial?
Sure, Rachel. One of the things that comes to mind is stealth technology, which is designed to evade radar detection. Aircraft, like the B-2 Spirit or the F-117 Nighthawk, have unique angular designs that can look quite otherworldly, especially if viewed from certain angles. Then there's experimental propulsion technology, which might produce unusual flight patterns or lighting effects that are unfamiliar to the public and even to some experienced pilots.
Adding to Samantha's point, there's also the development of high-altitude drones and hypersonic vehicles. These can travel at speeds and altitudes that are not typical for commercial or even most military aircraft, making their movements seem inexplicable to an observer on the ground.
That's fascinating. So, essentially what we're saying is that advancements in our own technology could be contributing to the UFO phenomenon. How do we start to differentiate between these advanced technologies and something that might genuinely be unidentified?
Well, Rachel, it comes back to data analysis and interdisciplinary research. For instance, by closely examining the flight patterns, speeds, and physical descriptions provided in sighting reports, and comparing them with the characteristics of known technology, we can start to filter out what could be human-made. Plus, ongoing advancements in sensor technology might also help us capture more detailed data on these sightings, aiding in their identification.
Right, and it's worth mentioning the role of amateur astronomers and hobbyists in this process. There's a wealth of data being collected by non-professionals, and sometimes they are the first to spot these anomalies. Their contributions can be incredibly valuable, especially when combined with professional analyses.
It sounds like there's a whole ecosystem of observers, from pilots to astronomers, contributing to our understanding of what's up there. But I wonder, how do we keep the conversation grounded in science and not veer off into the realm of conspiracy theories?
Communication is key, Rachel. We need to be transparent about what we know and what we don't. By explaining the science behind our analyses and openly discussing the limitations of our understanding, we can foster a more rational discourse. It's about educating the public to ask the right questions and think critically about the information they're presented with.
And it's also about acknowledging that some things are currently beyond our understanding. That doesn't mean they're alien or supernatural, just that we have more to learn. encouraging curiosity while promoting scientific literacy seems like a good approach.
Absolutely, staying curious but critical. It's a delicate balance, but one that's crucial for exploring the unknown. Speaking of staying curious, Samantha, could you share more about your first-hand experiences with what could be classified as UFOs? How did it challenge your understanding as a pilot?
Sure, Rachel. There were moments during night flights where I observed lights moving in patterns or speeds that didn't align with any aircraft I was aware of. Initially, it was disorienting. You rely on your instruments and training, but when you encounter something that defies those expectations, it makes you question what you know. However, over time I learned the importance of documenting these observations meticulously for further analysis.
Your point about meticulous documentation is critical, Samantha. It's the foundation upon which we can build scientific inquiry. Observational data from experienced pilots like you can provide intriguing case studies for analysis. By applying the scientific method, collecting data, formulating hypotheses, and conducting experiments, we can start to uncover explanations for some of these sightings.
That process of inquiry sounds rigorous. Dr. Johnson, in your experience, have there been any cases where this scientific scrutiny has led to unexpected discoveries or insights into aerospace phenomena?
Absolutely, Rachel. There have been several instances where anomalies initially presumed to be UFOs were later identified as atmospheric phenomena or advanced aerospace technology under development. For example, the study of certain fast-moving lights in the sky has led to a better understanding of atmospheric conditions that can create illusions of movement or speed. These are important learning opportunities that push the boundaries of our knowledge.
And those advancements in understanding can also lead to improvements in aviation technology and safety. Learning from the unexplained can help us refine our instruments and training protocols to better prepare pilots for unusual situations.
It seems like there's a symbiotic relationship between confronting the unknown and technological progress. But with all this talk of advancements and scientific method, how do we ensure that the public remains engaged and informed without jumping to fantastical conclusions?
That's the challenge of our time, isn't it? Engaging the public's imagination while grounding our discussions in facts. It requires making science accessible and interesting. TV programs, podcasts like ours, public lectures, and open-access journals play a crucial role in this endeavor. They allow us to bridge the gap between complex scientific concepts and the curiosity of the general public.
Engaging with the media thoughtfully, as Dr. Johnson mentioned, is essential. As someone who has been on both sides, observing unexplained phenomena and now discussing it, I think sharing personal stories with a factual basis can also humanize the science, making it more relatable to the public.
That's a solid point, Samantha. Personal stories do have a unique power to connect, but let's dive a bit deeper into the declassified documents. Dr. Johnson, have you come across any revelations in these documents that particularly surprised you or challenged your previous understanding of aerospace phenomena?
Indeed, Rachel. One of the most striking aspects revealed through the declassified documents is the frequency of sightings reported by credible sources. While many can be explained through atmospheric sciences or misidentification of man-made objects, there remain a handful that elude current scientific explanations. This underscores the vastness of our universe and how much is still beyond our current understanding.
It really does put things into perspective, doesn't it? Understanding that not everything can be easily classified or explained. From a pilot's viewpoint, it reinforces the need to stay vigilant and adaptable in the skies, because you never know what you might encounter.
Vigilance and adaptability seem to be key, not just in the skies, but in scientific inquiry as well. Dr. Johnson, given the unexplained sightings, how does the scientific community plan to advance its research methods or technologies to unravel these mysteries?
Great question, Rachel. The advancements in technology, especially in observational tools like satellite imaging, high-resolution telescopes, and even artificial intelligence for pattern recognition, are opening new doors for us. By leveraging these technologies, we aim to collect more precise data, enabling a more detailed analysis of these phenomena. Furthermore, international collaboration is crucial. Sharing data and resources across borders can accelerate our understanding and potentially lead to breakthroughs.
International collaboration sounds promising, especially with the shared goal of uncovering the truth behind these sightings. It's interesting to think about how these efforts might not only solve existing mysteries, but also lead to the discovery of new phenomena or even new technologies inspired by these investigations.
It's fascinating to see how a subject as enigmatic as UFO sightings can catalyze such innovation and collaboration. And the role of public engagement in this process cannot be overstated. Keeping the public informed and interested ensures sustained support for these investigative efforts.
Absolutely, Rachel. Public engagement is crucial. It helps to demystify the scientific process and makes the topic of extraterrestrial research accessible to everyone. Educating the public also helps in debunking myths and focusing on evidence-based research, which is fundamental in the pursuit of truth.
And from a pilot's perspective, engaging the public helps in reducing the stigma around reporting sightings. It encourages a culture of transparency and openness, which is vital for both aviation safety and scientific research.
That's an excellent point, Samantha. Reducing stigma and encouraging transparency could indeed change the game in how we approach and understand UFO sightings. To wrap up our conversation, it seems that the intersection of personal experiences, advanced technology, international collaboration, and public engagement forms a powerful foundation for exploring the unknown aspects of our universe.
Precisely. Every sighting, every piece of data contributes to our collective understanding. It's a journey of discovery that requires curiosity, skepticism, and an open mind.
And it's a journey that I believe will bring us closer to answering some of the most profound questions about our place in the cosmos.
Thank you both for such an insightful discussion. It's clear that the search for answers in the skies above us not only challenges our understanding of the universe, but also brings us together in our quest for knowledge. To our listeners, keep looking up and stay curious. Until next time, this is Rachel signing off from our exploration into the unknown.